Selenic is a great tool to reduce the ongoing maintenance costs associated with Selenium test creation and execution. Parasoft Selenic works in both Eclipse and IntelliJ for JUnit and TestNG tests. For those of you who have been following along in this video series, we've seen a lot of usage of JUnit, so today I wanted to focus on TestNG. The principles are the same though between the two technologies. So here in my Eclipse IDE, I have my TestNG test case. This TestNG test is extending my Parabank demo test, which I have here. This test is executing against my Parabank demo application, and Parabank demo has some changes to the latest version. I'm going to use Parasoft Selenic to not only identify what those changes are, but take advantage of self-healing to help overcome the challenges associated with changing locators and insufficient wait conditions. So I can execute any of my TestNG Selenium tests by simply running a Selenic test configuration, or by modifying one of my existing configurations. So here I'm going to jump into the Selenic test configuration, and here you can see Parasoft Selenic. Right now, I currently have Parasoft Selenic configured to generate recommendations during my test execution, and if a test fails due to a bad locator or wait condition, to perform self-healing at runtime. Additionally, I'm taking screenshots on any failures, and I'd like to see an HTML report after the execution. To ensure that I'm pointing at the current version of my application, I've overridden one of the environment variables. So let's go ahead and execute this test. We're going to see 3 tests execute, and a lot's going to happen at once, so let me explain what's happening. Take a look at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen here. The first thing that's going to happen is that we're going to enter into the application, and the test is going to encounter a bad element locator that we will heal. You'll see down in the bottom right-hand corner that that's taking place. Okay, so here comes the second test. In this test, it's all about wait conditions. You can see that I have an element that dynamically loads on the page here, and just takes a little bit of extra time than what I've configured in my existing test. Parasoft Selenic is handling that by automatically adjusting the wait conditions during runtime. Finally, my third test has a combination of both these challenges. You can see self-healing is initiating in the bottom right-hand corner, waiting just a little longer for that table to show up, now waiting for the field to be interactable, and successfully proceeding forward through the test steps. So all 3 of my tests have successfully executed. However, I do have tests that need to be fixed. The Parasoft Selenic Analyzer report is indicating to me that of the 3 TestNG tests I just executed, there are different recommendations for each one of them. Looking at the first one, we can see it's indicating that one element locator that I'm using in my test is no longer working after the application or the UI changed. But the AI kicked in and recommended this new locator to use in our test code. So you can learn more about recommendations and wait conditions in our other videos in this series. So to finish the workflow, I'll return here to the IDE, and we can see that the recommendation to update the locator has been imported. I can then jump directly to the locator in my test code and update the change, thus updating my TestNG Selenium tests. And through this, I can reduce overall test failures with AI-powered self-healing, as well as getting great recommendations to help me build Selenium tests that are more resistant to change.